You're watching ABC 17 KMIZ, where the news comes first.
Team coverage on ABC 17 News tonight at 6 as we continue to learn more about the capture of Brian Adkison in Ohio just hours ago. It's a story ABC 17 News broke this afternoon online. Adkison is wanted after breaking out of jail where he was being held on kidnapping charges. He's also accused of rape in Boone County. New at 6, we're hearing from the family of Adkison's alleged victim in Caldwell County. Sherry Burris is live there, but first, what's next for Adkison, who is in custody just west of Cleveland in Ohio tonight. ABC 17's Evan Millward is live now at University Hospital in Columbia. That's where Adkison's path of crime started in Boone County. And Evan, prosecutors here want him back as soon as possible.
Yeah, the most serious charges in this spree are here in Boone County. Those are the charges of rape. Now, this all started in May when a North Columbia woman claimed Adkison raped her in her home. Prosecutors here in Boone County say they will get Adkison back to Missouri. It is not a matter of if, now it's just a matter of when. But Adkison's path continued in June. That's when his girlfriend claimed she was kidnapped from her Caldwell County home and brought here to University Hospital. Now, Caldwell County authorities tell us tonight they are in contact with authorities in Ohio. They've also been in contact with that victim's family. I have, though, confirmed the two states' governors have not talked about extradition yet. Adkison's still refusing to cooperate with the Westlake, Ohio Police Department. Now, Adkison was caught just after noon Eastern time in that town that is just west of Cleveland. Now, we told you at 5, he was riding a bike when someone recognized him from the news. He then ran into a nursing home, and an administrator held him in a headlock until officers could arrive. This is not all that far from where we reported yesterday that Adkison had led several law enforcement agencies on a multi-county chase after he was recognized in a parking lot of a hotel. He's also accused of stealing a truck from West Virginia and license plates from a township in Pennsylvania. It's not clear tonight whether any charges will be brought against him in either of those states, or if Cuyahoga County authorities will charge him for anything that happened the past couple of days up in Westlake. Now, all of this has been developing quickly this afternoon. Word just got back to the alleged victim's family in Caldwell County. That's where ABC 17's Sherry Burris is now. Sherry, what are folks in that community talking about tonight?
Evan, less than an hour ago, I did speak with John Crawford, who is the victim's father. He is very appreciative of all the support within the community to help find Adkison.
Just a big thank you to all of the law enforcement, again, all of our community, all of the whole, so many people all over the country that were supporting us in this, supporting the law enforcement. It's just, the support has just been amazing and overwhelming, and we're very grateful.
The Caldwell County Sheriff also told me that he feels much better knowing that Adkison is back in custody. He did say that they are talking with other authorities that did help find Brian Adkison, are in contact with them before he comes back to Caldwell County. In the weeks leading up to after the escape of Adkison, there were up to 15 different law enforcement agencies that were helping to find him here in Caldwell County. Around town, there is a buzz following the news of Adkison's capture. I spoke with a few people around town who all didn't feel comfortable going on camera because they either knew one or both of the families. One woman I spoke with at a local gas station said he's a very smart kid, just didn't make very smart decisions. Another woman who knew both families says her heart goes out for both of them. Live in Caldwell County, I'm Sherry Burris, ABC 17 News.
All right, thanks, Sherry. Now, the family was offering a reward of $3,000. They tell us they think they will be giving that to a Caldwell County women's shelter. Well, if you've spent any time outdoors lately, the cool off has felt great, but the warm up is going to come back. ABC 17 Chief Meteorologist Sharon Ray joins us now with details. Sharon.
That's right. We are feeling that heat a little bit today. We did make it into the upper 80s for a brief time, and it's still holding at 84 degrees right now at Columbia. We have 86 at Jefferson City. The lake sitting at 81 degrees. We have some high clouds drifting through. Your out the door forecast this evening. Temperatures are going to dip down to near 70 by midnight. So we have another pleasant evening to get outdoors. We have mostly clear skies, very light winds, and by early tomorrow morning, close to 62 degrees. So it's going to be a nice night here across mid-Missouri. The lows will bottom out in the upper 50s to near 60 tonight, 57 at the lake to 60 at Boonville to 58 at Jefferson City. So pretty nice weather again tonight, and then tomorrow we continue to be mostly sunny, and it'll be a little hot out there. Temperatures near 90, touching at 90 for the high temperature of the day at Columbia and Moberly, to 89 at Jeff City and Sedalia. So the wind will be very light tomorrow, and we'll have lots of sunshine once again. We have just a few clouds drifting through right now. Otherwise, it's very clear across the area. You can see those are going to clear out tonight. We have a cold front sitting to the north. That is going to slide to the south, but not have much effect on our weather. This is through the day tomorrow, and that front actually slides in here. We'll get a few high clouds from the front, but no rain is expected for mid-Missouri, and I'd be surprised if we can even get anything to the north. That is going to continue to lift back to the east. The hot weather continues to build over the region for the weekend, and temperatures are going to continue to warm. So here's your ABC 17 Storm Track 7-day forecast. By Friday, we're up to 91 degrees, and if you're heading to the high school football games Friday evening, the start of the games is going to be very warm. By 7 o'clock, 84 degrees Friday evening, down to 76 by 10. So expect some more warm football weather, and that's the case again for Saturday, the Tigers game, 93. Notice we bumped the temperatures up a little for the weekend. Mid-90s early next week, with that chance of rain finally, with some cooler air moving in Wednesday. Meredith?
All right, thanks, Sharon. New at 6 tonight, nearly $500,000 from the Boone County 911 sales tax funds already spent. Boone County commissioners announced they hired a consultant to create plans for the new facility. ABC 17's Heather Horgan talked with both commissioners and consultants about their expectations. And Heather, the commission says the consultants are necessary.
The presiding commissioner tells me they want to get this building exactly right, so it will last for at least 50 years to come. But the technology going into the building needs an expert to design it, something the county was missing. They hope Mission Critical Partners can make this new 911 center one of the best in the state.
We have to do everything right, and people who've done this before have a lot more experience in all the details than we could ever have.
Currently, Boone County's 911 system is 20 years old with only one call taker, but officials say the environment will change. The commission hired Pennsylvania consulting company Mission Critical Partners. Presiding Commissioner Dan Atwell tells me the firm has the expertise on how to build a new 911 center, complete with the latest technology.
Anything to do with the building, any technology in the building, any technology on the building, towers, microwaves, all the infrastructure to make, when you make a 911 call, it happens.
Lawrence Bickford is Mission Critical Partners Vice President. He tells me the first step is making sure the proposed site behind the Boone County Jail fits building requirements.
And we're going to be asking for any due diligence reports or studies that have been done on that site, like environmental, subsurface conditions. So there are all kinds of things that you have to do to make sure the site is ready to build a building.
Other requirements include controlled parking, a safety area around the building at least 85 feet wide, and it must withstand a common mid-Missouri threat.
Remember, we're trying to have a building that will withstand a Category 5 tornado.
Bickford tells me they hope to examine the property by Thursday. Atwell wants to reinforce to voters, Mission Critical Partners will help officials, but
we remain in control of the whole operation. They are consultants. They will give us their recommendation. We have the ability to accept their recommendation or reject it.
Despite a wish for doors to open in just 24 months, neither the consultant or commission could give me a date when they expect Mission Critical Partners recommendations. The $424,000 paid to the consultants comes from the voters' approved sales tax.
All right, thanks, Heather. We also learned today call taker candidates are in phase 2 of the job interview process. Next Tuesday, commissioners also expect to have the official date for when current city employees will become county employees. Well, Boone County residents heard tornado sirens this morning, but the sirens did not go off intentionally. The Boone County Office of Emergency Management posted on their Facebook page the sirens heard around 10 this morning were not supposed to go off. The Public Safety Joint Communications looked into the issue and found the malfunction was due to a neighboring community, possibly Rolla, activating their sirens on the same frequency. The Facebook post says the atmospheric conditions were just right today to provide strong enough signal from Rolla's signal test. Well, the man wanted in an assault over the weekend that put a Columbia man in a coma turned himself in today. He posted it on his Facebook page first. 40-year-old Quincy Avant got into a fight with his neighbor on Long Ridge Court in Northeast Columbia Sunday night. According to neighbors, he beat the victim with a golf club, severely injuring the man. Avant is now in the Boone County Jail awaiting charges. A Moberly police officer injured today after being hit by a car while he was chasing a man involved in a car chase just before 2 p.m. yesterday. A police officer was involved in a car chase with Higbee man David Asher, who fled in his pickup after failing to yield to an ambulance. The car chase turned into a foot pursuit. A Randolph County Sheriff's Department vehicle then tried to block the suspect but hit the Moberly officer instead. He was transported to a nearby hospital with just minor injuries. A man charged with murdering an Avaz man and beating his father made his first court appearance today. Jake Gassler appeared in court this morning without a lawyer, which means his case will have to be continued. Gassler is charged with killing Zachary O'Connor in his home and beating his father, Michael, who is still in the hospital. Gassler is held on a $700,000 bond and was told by the judge to be back in court at the end of the month. High schools nationwide could get a later start time if a top educational official gets his way. And a company broke ground today in Fulton for an expansion that will bring around 20 new jobs to the area. We'll have details on the 102-year-old company next. And new tonight on ABC 17 News at 6:30. City leaders discuss the projects scheduled for Columbia Regional Airport and the ones already completed. How they affect passengers coming up at the bottom of the hour.
Now you can watch ABC 17 News at 2 new times on KMIZ. Weekdays at 9 right after Good Morning America. And weekdays at noon following Steve Harvey. ABC 17 News, where the news comes first.
The Danuser Machine Company has broken ground in Fulton on a multi-million-dollar expansion project, and it will bring jobs to the area. The expansion will house a 32-square-foot industrial warehouse. ABC 17's Madison Burke attended the groundbreaking this morning and spoke with officials about what this will mean for the community. And Madison, it is good news for job creation.
Meredith, this expansion will bring in about 15 new jobs. That's the biggest expansion this 103-year-old company has seen in over 40 years.
It's great to be at an event like this for an expansion rather than a closing.
The company says this growth would not have been possible without the city's help.
Where's the money coming from for the expansion? We're very grateful to the city of Fulton for passing and accepting our bid to do a Chapter 100 bond.
This bond allows the city to finance the development project. All of the city, county, and state officials that I talked to at the event are adamant about supporting locally owned business.
To continue to see a company that's this old survive in this age and grow is an amazing feat, and it's a great tribute to the employees and to the management here.
Danuser says the money will be worth it as they promise to be good employers.
We've always been a stable employer here in Fulton. We've got long-term employees.
And plans for expanding continue. Danuser says they hope to continue expanding over the next few years, and that means continue to create even more jobs for the area.
We're very optimistic, looking forward to the future, hoping this is just one of a few expansions we get to experience during our tenure.
I'm told we can expect more expansions from the company over the next decade. Live in the Jefferson City newsroom, Madison Burke, ABC 17 News.
All right, thanks, Madison. The new employees are expected to be in their new positions sometime next year. Well, high school students could start school later and get more sleep if the nation's top education official gets his way. Today, Education Secretary Arne Duncan said studies show that students do better if they begin their day rested, but added the decision is up to the school and says he won't be telling superintendents when to schedule their first bells. He says schools are there to serve students, not adults and teenagers who are struggling to wake up early to make it to the bus. The Department of Foreign Affairs says it supports expanding and enhanced caregivers benefit for wounded veterans, but only if Congress comes up with the billions of dollars needed to pay for it. Congress created the program in 2010 to give caregivers of wounded veterans health care and more. Currently, the program is limited, though, to veterans who served after the 9/11 attacks. VA says expansion to all veterans would make it more equitable, but without extra funds, basic health care benefits could be jeopardized. A Senate panel has voted to give President Obama the authority to use military force against Syria in response to the country's deadly chemical weapons attack on its own people. The vote today was 10-7, with one senator voting present. The full Senate is expected to vote with the measure next week. The resolution would give the president permission to order a limited military mission against Syria as long as it doesn't exceed 90 days and does not put American troops on the ground for combat operations.
Well, it's going to feel like summer here the next few days as temperatures continue to rise. I'll have an outline of what you can expect tomorrow with your hourly forecast, and we'll look ahead to the weekend. I've got your game day forecast as well next. It is a warm evening and it's quiet. Some high clouds drifting through should give us a pretty sunset this evening. 84 at the Lake of the Ozarks right now after hitting 86 from our Window World camera. 84 at Joe Machens BMW with mostly sunny skies across the area, and 86 at St. Mary's in Jefferson City. Tomorrow's going to be a little hotter. We're going to get very close to that 90-degree mark tomorrow afternoon, and temperatures are going to be warm in the morning. By 10 o'clock up to 78 degrees. We are going to have very calm light winds from the south up to 4 miles an hour. So not much breeze again tomorrow afternoon. A few clouds drifting through right now. Otherwise, it's quiet. We're going to stay that way. We have a little cold front to the north, very weak front. That's really not going to do anything for us. That is going to sink to the south and to the east of us tomorrow. But overall, we're still looking at that very warm air out over the plains. That is going to continue to expand over the next few days and build into the area. It's not until around next Wednesday, next Thursday, there's some cooler air that's going to be dropping in. Until then, it's very similar to last week's weather pattern where we'll be warming up each day, and by the weekend it's going to get a little hot out there. In fact, here is your forecast if you're already making plans to go to the Tigers game this coming Saturday. The kickoff is at 2:30, so it'll be right at peak heating with mostly sunny and hot weather this weekend. The temperatures at tailgate time will already be quite warm in the lower 80s, and of course a lot warmer if you're standing out in the sun and on the asphalt. At 2 in the afternoon, 92 degrees, and 6 o'clock still holding at 90, so plan for some heat, and don't forget that sunscreen. You'll need it for the weekend. Temperatures are going to continue to climb. We see those mid-90s. We bumped these up a little bit. That ridge of high pressure aloft is going to be rather dominant, so we are going to see those numbers continuing to climb until next Wednesday. We start to cool down a little bit, and you can see for Jefferson City as well with 89 tomorrow, and then you hit 90 and you stay in those 90s all the way into next Wednesday. Fortunately, though, next week, the end of the week is looking a little nicer. Lake of the Ozarks with 89 tomorrow, 90 Friday, and the lake is going to have another very summer-like weekend, just a few clouds floating through. Temperatures in the low 90s, making it to the mid-90s by next Tuesday. So here we go again. Now we're getting our late summer heat. It continues to build across the area.
And beyond this week, beyond this 7 days?
Next week, the end of next week does look a little cooler, but I don't see anything that's drastic.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Sharon.
All righty.
Coming up next in sports, the NCAA has officially cleared this former Missouri Tiger to resume his college basketball career with a new team. Tyler has details next in sports.
Here's the Mid-America Mortgage Rate Report. Call 573-875-1100 for your home loan or to refinance today. Mid-America Mortgage.
It's a name that we heard a lot of last year, and although it got quiet, back in the news.
Yeah, Mike Adkison. We, of course, remember him with the Missouri Tiger basketball program. He has since made a move to Memphis, and their head coach, Josh Pastner, has confirmed that the NCAA has granted a waiver to Mike Adkison, allowing him to play this upcoming season. The former Tiger guard, now a current Tiger guard as well, announced earlier this year that he decided to transfer to Memphis after leaving Mizzou in the wake of sexual assault allegations that were never brought to formal charges. Just last season, the NCAA set precedent for a situation like this, granting a player named Des Wells the exact same waiver under the exact same conditions when he transferred from Xavier to Maryland. When Adkison last played 2 years ago, the Tigers were in the Big 12, and he averaged 13.3 points per game as the conference's 6th man of the year and was on the league's all-defensive team. Now, Meredith, Memphis should have one of the best backcourts in the nation this year with the addition of Adkison, who is now, again, eligible to play. They have 4 senior guards that averaged over 10 points last year, so look for them to be one of the best teams in the nation with a guy like Dixon now helping out the cause.
Would we ever run into them outside of a tournament?
Tournament situation is where it would happen, have to happen in the NCAA tournament.
All right. Thanks, Tyler. Well, coming up tonight on ABC 17 News at 6:30, we find out the projects recently completed at Columbia Regional Airport and those still scheduled to make things safer for passengers. And in a consumer alert tonight, a scam from an unexpected source hit the Kansas City area. We'll bring you the details coming up after the break.
Tomorrow in an ABC 17 News special report. We're taking a look at how many stolen guns are turning up in mid-Missouri and investigating how many are still on the streets. It's a special report tomorrow at 9 on Fox 22 KQFX and at 10 on KMIZ.